Yeah, my girlfriend's in the chats. He says, "Do you want to tell classical learner how many kids we want?" And yeah, it's about 8. The number keeps changing, but
Only 8,
I know I want at least 8.
at least.
She's like she wants like 5 to 8. I want like 8 to 12. So we'll see what we end up at.
I need a legion of bears.
I know. I want like 80 grandkids. So I want like at least 6, if not 10 or 12. But I want them to all have 6 to 10 as well. Um, yeah.
The more children we all have, the brighter, the safer the future is for our children because they will have so many allies in this world. And like a lot of us, we woke up in the last few years, but now that we woke up, we really have the potential to talk about be fruitful and multiply on a scale that within 20 years, not even just the number, but now the way we all went through public school. Now we're all homeschooling these children. We're all having a ton of children. We're raising them out of debt. We're teaching them to value God over materialism. When I think about how bright the future can be, how optimistic the future is, I just have so much hope, so much faith,
Yeah.
so much belief. And I know this community is going to do, just as Jesus said, we will do more incredible things than he ever did. Well, our children will do more incredible things than we ever did.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I like it. Owen said at one time is like such a concise, brilliant point, which is just be a better father than yours was. Like be a better parent than your parents were. And just have that reciprocate and continue that. Have a lot of children and be a better parent than yours was. Even if you had great parents, if you had no parents, if you had crappy, whatever it is, whatever your parents were, just be better than them. And then whoever you are will reciprocate that down the line, and then instill those values in your children to have that same mindset. I'm going to be a better parent than even dad was. Say you're a legend. Say you're crushed. You did everything right. You raised great, healthy, beautiful children. You raised 10 of them. Make sure that all 10 of them go on out into the world and have that same mindset of, yeah, dad was great. Yeah, I'm so thankful for him. I love him, but I'm going to be better than him. And then have their kids have that same mindset. And imagine a world where that takes place. Imagine a world 100 years from now where like bears have just anyone really, but just mostly the bear community is just crushing, and the next generation is crushing even harder, and then that next generation is even crushing harder than that. Like the ripples effect on that is going to be unimaginable. Yeah, yeah, and I'm full of hope for it. Every day I log into like Beartaria Times app or on Instagram or whatever, watch Hanging with Bears or watch the Owen streams or whatever. It's just like you can't not be full of hope. You can't not be like excited and energized to go build and crush. So yeah, I'm glad I found everyone. I'm glad I found y'all in general. But yeah, said in the chat says homeschoolers don't have weird pronouns. So yeah, they might be weird, but they don't have weird pronouns. That's a good point. um,
I don't even accept the premise that homeschoolers are weird. If you think about it, before about 18 months ago, there were probably about 5 to 6 million families or children being homeschooled. And now there are over 12 million. And just this past week alone, just out and about in the town, I met 3 other families who homeschool, and they have a total in those 3 families of, I think, 7 children in those 3 families. And I'm already setting up play dates. And like I said, if you make socialization a priority, then it's not a problem at all. And my son doesn't go a day in which we're not at parks and he's playing with children. We're not at the church group and he's in a classroom with 18, 20 other children. I'm there and it's fine. No problem with that. They do another class that I take him to on Fridays in which all the children play music together. I'm setting up play dates. I'm all these things, children's birthday parties. So not a day goes by. We're out and about in the town. He's at restaurants. He's 3 years old, he's placing his own order to waitresses. Whenever we, and like, you know, the thing is too, like, and you see this a lot with military families, right? They're a great example. The children in military families are great at making friends because they have to. Every 2 to 3 years in their life, they're moved from one state to another, one country to another. And because of that, they become very good at making friends. Well, my son, about a month and a half ago now, July 25th, we moved to North Carolina, and we came here, and my son didn't know any other children. I take him to parks almost every day, and every day I watch him meet completely new groups of children. And by the end of the time he's at the park, they're all running around with him, laughing, having a blast. I'm talking to their parents. I'm getting their phone number, setting up play dates. So my son is probably better at making friends than I was for the first, I don't know, 30 years of my life.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, I was public school. You know, they had me in the same classroom. They had me in a classroom with the same children every day, whether I wanted to be around them or not. You know, you're sitting there between concrete walls. It's artificial socialization. Everyone's getting bullied. You're not allowed to fight back. There's this horrible situation. Everyone's worried about their body odor and how they smell. And you know, that environment to learn to be social. But my son, you know, he's out in the real world interacting with people every day, and he's much more advanced socially, like I said, at age 3 than I probably am right now. So
that's awesome.